Today I'm going to show you how to replace this cheap, inefficient, leaky factory door with this, the Quick Coal access door from LavaLock. Now here we have an 18.5-inch Weber Smokey Mountain. This is the factory door that comes with the Weber Smokey Mountain. It's very thin, doesn't retain much heat, and it leaks from the top. What we're going to do today is get rid of it. I'm going to replace it with this. Now this is the LavaLock Quick Coal access door. Now there is a larger size for the 22-inch WSM, and if you were curious, yes, you can install these on a UDS. The one here will fit a 30-gallon drum, and the larger size will fit on a 55, with some customization if a rimmed barrel is being used. Now in the kit you get the door, obviously, which comes unpainted, the latch, handle, and all necessary nuts and bolts to mount it, a tube of RTV 450 sealant to put around the frame, and about 6 feet of barbecue felt gasket for the door. For the basic install, you'll need a few tools: safety glasses, measuring tape, painter's or masking tape, a level, a corded or cordless drill with at least a 1/4-inch drill bit, and the bit should be one that's good for drilling into metal. Paint, I put an asterisk here because you can do this or not do it any way you want. While I'm not going to show you a complete step-by-step, I will give you some tips and point you in the right direction. If someone does want me to do a full video on this, I just might. You're going to need at least 2 7/16 box wrenches and or sockets and drivers. And lastly, scissors. The base of the Quick Coal's door frame will rest along the bottom lip of the midsection, and once in place you can see that it sits flush against the cooker. Now before you start to drill any holes, be sure to center the door over the existing opening. You can do this by measuring the width of the opening, the distance between the 2 bracket bolts above the opening, and the top of the Quick Coal door frame. I found that using this long end of painter's tape works quite well to mark these points, and once the door is centered and level, the painter's tape works exceptionally well to hold the door in place and won't leave any gunky mess on your cooker when you're done. Alright, I froze the video here for a particular reason. The door, as you see it, is actually upside down, and I didn't mean to do this. It was an accident. Fortunately, when I turned the door right side up, all the holes lined up. It wasn't a big deal. But I wouldn't recommend doing this because the door itself hangs on a hinge, and if you install it upside down, the door will fall off. So be sure to examine the door before you hang it, drill any holes, or certainly before you install it. Now when it comes to drilling the holes, start by using a punch to mark the center of the 2 top bolt holes on either side of the door. And although all you really need is a 1/4-inch drill bit, I do suggest using 2 smaller bits to work your way up to the 1/4-inch to ensure a more centered hole and less damage to the ceramic coating on the cooker. Once those holes are drilled out, insert the bolts, secure them, and finish drilling the rest of the holes. To keep your bits sharp, you can use a drilling lubricant. I found that transmission fluid works quite well. Once all of this is done, you can bolt the door on if you want, but I highly recommend that you paint it first, because moisture and heat will certainly lead to rust. And since it comes unpainted, you can paint it whatever color you want, with any kind of paint you want. I do suggest though that you use a paint that can withstand high heat, like ones that are made for grills, engine blocks, or machinery. I for one chose to paint mine black. To match the WSM, I used an engine primer paint and clear coat, all rated to withstand temperatures up to 500 degrees. Now if you're going to paint, make sure you do it in a well-ventilated space, wear safety glasses, and a respirator or mask. The first thing I recommend is to clean the metal with mineral spirits or acetone. To prepare the surface for paint, sand it using a 200 to 400 grit sandpaper or use a self-etching primer. For primer, I recommend at least 3 coats, 2 tack followed by 1 medium wet, 10 minutes apart. Apply your base or color in 3 to 4 coats, 2 tack and then medium wet, again 10 minutes apart. If you get rough spots, you can wet sand them with 800 grit sandpaper and reapply an additional coat. Either way, you want your top coat to be done like this, linear strokes with 50% coverage per stroke. If you care to clear coat, again, 3 to 4 coats, 2 tack followed by medium wet, 10 minutes apart, and the top coat or coats should be in linear strokes, 50% coverage. To smooth out the orange peel on the clear coat, wet sand it with 2000 to 2500 grit sandpaper, then apply a rubbing compound followed by a polishing compound. Now you can get this thing as shiny as you want, but remember, it's going on a smoker, not a 67 fastback. Now once the door is painted, you're ready to mount it, but I want you to take a quick look at how this door looks loosely hung over the existing hole in the midsection. I, for one, think it was too small to begin with. So I'm going to take full advantage of this mod and open this thing up by 3 inches using an angle grinder. Once it was filed, sanded, primed, and painted, the opening was smooth to the touch, protected from rust, and now greatly improved for better access into the cooker. But hey, this is an option. You don't have to do it. I think it's a great benefit. Okay, so now I'm ready to install the door. Now remember, the door can only swing from one side and hangs on a hinge. So if you install it upside down, the door will fall off. Make sure you install it correctly. Using the RTV 450 sealant, run a small bead around the outside of the frame. You can smooth it out with your finger. You'll have a bunch left, so I recommend running a larger bead on the inside of the frame against the cooker. After that, cut the fabric barbecue gasket and fit it to apply to the door. Now I chose to put it on the frame, but in retrospect, it's probably best to put on the door, that way it stays out of your way when you open it. Once you put the handle on and latch, outside of a minor few adjustments on tension, you're done. Now the RTV sealant does need 24 hours to cure, so don't fire this thing up right away. But when you do, I recommend building a small dirty fire just to check for any leaks. If you find any, seal them up with the remaining RTV sealant. In the end, I bet you're wondering if the LavaLock door is worth it, and how much better can it be in comparison to the old factory door it replaced. Well, take a look for yourself. Well, that's my video, folks. Be sure to like this video if you found it helpful, entertaining, or educational, because I sure hope you learned something. I know I certainly did. Thanks for watching. To order your LavaLock door, or to purchase all sorts of great mods for your WSM, check out barbecuesmokermods.com. You want to see inside? Wow, pretty cool, huh?